Succumb to your pride.
So we have the new ban list that's just been released, and we are going to be talking about this for the next half hour or so. So feel free to alt-tab, do your Facebook thing or whatever. It's just going to be an image on screen. So this is purely a podcast. I guess we'll just go straight into it. Initial thoughts, Duncan?
It's overkill. Like, I wasn't even playing the deck and it's overkill.
Does anyone think it's too far?
Yeah, I think that's the overwhelming consensus.
But let's be honest, right? So this
Yeah,
deck
like-
has been taking probably over 2/3 of tops at literally any event. Was it necessary?
I mean, it's only had one event. Like, it's not even had an event.
It's had a few
It
regionals, I guess.
It definitely. Yeah, definitely needed
This
to.
this set has
FarfaYGO were having tournaments where they need to not play MM because it was that dominant. But I don't think it needed to hit this much.
Like, they've hit every card in that deck. They've literally just smashed it. Like, there was no need to hit absolutely everything in the full deck.
Elliot, what do you think?
That's like
Yeah.
going to Cosmo and like hit Strawman or something. Like, come on.
Elliot, what do you say?
Like, I agree with the hits. I think the hits are fine for like, how powerful the deck is, but I just don't agree with the timing at all. Like, give the deck a bit more of a chance. Like, people have just invested. You don't have to punish your players that badly.
I think
There's
people are
also
still in the
sudden as well, like
mentality where
Nexus.
you invest in a deck at the start of a format or a set, and then it's going to be fine forever. Whereas Konami they've pretty much made it clear that they don't plan on doing ban lists as a seasonal thing. They're going to be doing ban lists as they see fit, and it seems that they think that it is time for a hit. And I'm pretty sure everyone would agree that these hits were, pretty justifiable.
But then, like, if any
They
deck's
also
like
not
super above any competition, people are just not going to invest. Like, straight up. They're just going to think this is going to get hit
There's
within a
just-
month. What's the point in investing?
It's because
So
the hits
what
are so
happens if you
sudden as
find
well,
a
like,
good combo for a
one,
deck?
one at a time,
Do they
lads.
ban that
Duncan,
deck
what are you saying?
next week now?
I think it's a shock because the hits are so sudden as well. Like, if you look at Necros just now, it's had similar sort of hits. You've got one Unicorn, one Bridal, no Sure, no Jin, no Laval Chain, all
Yeah,
that
but
stuff.
the difference
But
is
that
Necros was a
that was
gradual
spread
change.
over- Yeah, it was spread over months that they put all those. If they just hit all of that to one, just all at once, it would be like a big shock like this. Whereas that was over what 3 lists that Necros got hit like that.
Yeah. So Liam,
Like,
what-
this deck hasn't had a YCS yet, and they've already, like, not even tapped the deck, they, destroyed it. So does that mean at every
Sorry,
YCS now,
yes,
if someone
YCS.
comes up with a good deck or combo, are they just going to ban that deck the next day? Like, it's going to make people not invest in the deck.
I guess that kind of raises a question, like, where do they go from here? Like, if they're gonna as you say, cunts are not gonna invest. Does that mean Konami just needs to make fairer decks? Like, what's gonna happen?
I mean, they
Well, you
definitely
look in the
haven't
next
done that,
sets, they're all kind of shit.
Elliot, go on.
If you look in Shining Victories and stuff, we have some good support here and there, but the archetypes are quite poor, slow, uninteresting. Maybe that's where they're trying to go now.
Do you think they're
I'm not
just
saying I
trying to
like
slow the
that,
game down?
but yeah, maybe try to have a different kind of format. We've had really good, powerful decks for the past 3 years. Maybe they want to have a bit more of controlling formats. I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, they
Jack,
also.
do you want to tell us a little bit? Alright, sorry. On you go, Duncan. Wrap up this section.
Also, banning Juggler means that FTK deck's now even more daft because you don't have to play Prohibition, which is a brick.
I can't believe they didn't hit Magical Explosion actually, just as a side point. Right.
Yeah, they must
One day.
know that Fraser did that thing.
It's quite funny. Alright, so anyway, moving on to, I guess we'll talk about previous ban lists, probably hear from you, Jack. How do you think this differs from previous ban lists, going way back when? And do you think it's a good change?
For the last few years, it is such a huge change in pace of what we're used to. Because, as I mentioned earlier, Necros, although the deck got slaughtered, it was over like 3 lists. So like, we got the time of it being like the most powerful deck by far. Then it was like just a bit more powerful. Then on like the list in which Laval Chain got banned and Trick got limited, it was like only slightly above the rest. You know, and that got like lots of time. Whereas now they've just decided, nah, we're not having any of that. We're just slaughtering it straight away.
I mean, we've had emergency bans in the past, you know. So like, is this not kind of like a parallel to that?
Talking years ago, there though, like I know Cyberstar got an emergency ban.
6
I
hands
can't
as well, didn't
think.
they?
Not that I can remember. But yeah, like they've like established this formula for lists over the last few years of like doing slower, gradual hits and like trying to make loads of decks viable. But this like just blows that out of the water, and they've just slaughtered a deck in less than 4 weeks of its release. So.
Yeah.
Like, it kind of leaves us in a situation where we're not going to know what's going to happen on any of the future lists. Never mind when we're going to get them.
So Liam, do you prefer like how they, you know, did it last year, or do you prefer like this? I mean, obviously try not to be biased with the fact that you just bought the deck like a week ago, but you know.
I mean, like, I get, obviously some of these hits like by themselves are understandable, like your monkey board and your luster and either one of the plush rare jugglers, like justifiable, but not before they've even had one YCS, like, and you know, Necros, they had Necros for however many formats. They had Dragon Rulers, like they hit them like slightly, but we had them for like over a year, and we've had this for not even one YCS. We're gonna have it for one YCS, and it's like the deck is dead.
I don't think it's that bad, is it?
Like, is that a way? Is that a way to, like, I don't know, market your product and your new stuff? So, oh, look at this deck, come buy this deck, then 4 weeks later, you can't play it anymore. Like, everyone just spent 200 quid on the full deck. Like, come on. Like, it's serious, it's like genuinely though, like, you're gonna now, in the summer, say, bring out a new set with the best deck. Why would people ever buy that? No, it's gonna get banned in 3 weeks. Why spend 300 quid to go play locals for 2 weeks, you know what I mean?
I think that's probably like the biggest point here is the fact that what's going to happen in the future, like, do we get a new meta deck and then suddenly, you know, we can't play it anymore after like a month, like all the money down the toilet? Like, what does this mean for the future? I feel like Yu-Gi-Oh players are Yu-Gi-Oh players, you know, people are still going to spend like 30-40 quid on a sports or like at a sneak peek release, you know, 50 quid even, like regardless if it's going to last a month, you know. I just feel like that's how Yu-Gi-Oh players are.
I don't think this is going to be like highly significant in terms of like what happens in the future, because this deck was like way ahead of the rest. Like, it's not that often a deck so powerful comes out that like makes everything else like before it pretty much irrelevant. Like, Magicians went from being like the best deck to completely irrelevant in the set of one set. You know, it's not often a deck does that. So I don't know how significant it's going to be in terms of like cards in the future.
Like Dragon Rulers did that, and Necros did that. Arguably, like, those were examples of new decks that just blew everything away, like, as soon as they came out. Like, Burning Abyss went from, like, 66% of tops at a YCS to the one previous before Charleston, and then they didn't get a single top in, like, Charleston or something like that, something like really close.
I guess that's kind of valid, but there was like competition at least for Necro. I mean, I know sort of now with Monarchs and that there is some competition, but like, what were the stats for Sydney? Like 26 of the top 32 were Pepe or something like that. I can't remember what the exact figure was, but it was like near enough all of them. Whereas like even with full Dragon Rulers, you had spellbooks that like took up near enough as many top spots. And like with Necros, you had DA, Clifford, and Shadow, and Tellarknight. It's like still clawing in and getting a few odd spaces.
So, Elliot, do you think this was...
Can
On you go.
Yeah. Well, like, we're like comparing these decks with like power and everything, but like, is this implying that Konami actually like go out of the way to like test the decks and like judge the power? Like, they can't do everything by OCG. And if they're not going by OCG, what are they doing for us? We haven't had enough events for the deck to prove itself. like we know it as players how powerful it is, but surely they shouldn't be making like marketing decisions like based upon that. Like we could just hype anything for the sake of it, and then would they get affected by that? Surely they should just be going by top percentages in tournaments, like their tournaments, because I doubt they're going to admit to ARG existing.
I mean, I would think that's the best way to do it, would be to you do it by like an event by event basis, but Konami just like seems to.
Yeah.
I mean, like the last ban list.
Apparently that's irrelevant now.
What?
Apparently, actual needing events is irrelevant now.
Yeah, I know, but the thing is, like, based on the last ban list, right? Konami, like, essentially, 100%, like, without any shadow of a doubt, said, like, we don't want you to play these decks anymore because we want you to buy the new stuff. Like, that's literally all they said. Like, there was no way anyone in their right mind would have said that Ritual Beasts needed a hit. Do you know what I mean? So clearly they were going for the profit, like, margin, right? So it doesn't seem like they're. I want to say they're not doing that anymore, but they just hit their best product within like a month, a week, a month, a week. How long has it been? I don't even know. Like,
I don't know.
They would have sold out all of their Bosch by now, so that's probably not an issue for them.
Yeah.
There was a special edition.
Yeah, I don't think.
Whatever.
so going on about the specifics, Duncan, do you think that the hits that they made were justifiable?
Not just banning everything already.
I mean, to be fair, people were
Like,
kind of
the-
cutting the perform ages anyway, were they not?
People were bad.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you didn't need to cut for mages.
The Perform Mages didn't really synergize with the Performapal engine a lot of the time, outside of just Sorcerer Plush. So that's kind of why they started cutting them. You wanted your hand to be like completely playable. You didn't want to have like Monkey Board Plush and have to summon Plush. Like you wanted always to have the option of like summoning it or using it as a scale. Since that actually came up quite a lot. So that was the idea behind just cutting the Perform Mages. You could say that it's not the right route. You're taking a lot of power out of your deck because of it, but that's just a route that some people thought was a better way to approach in the mirror.
Yeah, like I can see why they're doing it, I just don't think it's really good. Like, the performances are amazing. Right, this seems to be working.
So Liam, do you think that the hits were too far or not enough or etc etc?
I mean, I think it's that they gave all those hits in the one list. Like, if you were to spread those hits over like the next 2 or 3 lists, it wouldn't be as bad because you get your events with your full power Pepe. Then say in like 6 weeks time or whatever, you see it's like 80% top rate. So you, I don't know, hit Monkey Board to 1 and ban Flushfire. And then you can play a watered down version of Pepe where it's probably on similar power levels to everything else. And then the next list you hit the rest, and then you make way for your new deck. You don't bring out a new deck and then give no events for it and then ban it before like anyone gets a chance to use it. Like that's not what the game's for.
Anyone want to comment on that?
Sorry, I'm just testing.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Like, this should have been like slightly more spread out. I think, like especially now that they're not doing like set dates for lists. They're just doing it as and when they feel it's needed. So there's absolutely no need to do this all at once. Like,
So the thing that sticks out at me here is the fact that they say that this isn't a ban list, this is a adjustment list, and they're saying that this list only applies now to YCS's regional qualifier events, UDS qualifier events, and invitational events, whatever those are. I'm pretty sure those are just like some American things, but basically for regionals and YCS's we use this list, but like on the local level, like we're free to just dick around with full power. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, the way, like, my first initial thought when I read that was the fact that, okay, major events I can understand where you would like do the opposite, where you would let people play like the best deck, whereas at the local level, you know, that's where you want to give new players a chance. And it's like, okay, welcome to locals, here's full power Pepe.
yeah, that was my initial first thought as soon as I read the adjusted list thing. They seem to have done that in reverse of how it should have done.
Like, which locals is gonna like not follow this list? Like, surely every locals is just gonna go by the competitive meta. Surely every locals would be like, well, our customers are going to enter regionals, so let's give them the regional list and stuff. You know, like
There are a lot of non-competitive locals though. A lot. We are like the small percentage, like where you'll have the majority of players at the locals being competitive. And all it takes is the majority, really. It's quite possible that a lot of locals just don't have any Pepe players, which is obviously weird to think.
And then there's going to be as many locals where they've just got one Pepe player who's now dominating because he has by far the best deck.
Exactly.
like our locals with Jordan. This is pretty ridiculous, though. I don't know how to feel about this. So, what do you think? Like, moving on, I guess, to the best decks. Like, what is the best deck?
Mermail. I'm pretty sure Mermail's the best deck.
Vermeil has a decent Monarch matchup as well.
Do you guys think I don't think the hits were that bad.
Oh my god, did you read that? like what deck do you honestly like? What cards do you play in that deck now?
People were
fucking
already
three
cutting the
turtles?
perform ages.
So,
Do you know what I mean? People were cutting the perform ages.
Right.
And this just gives room for like a new.
Do you know why? Because you could search your scales so much that you can get donkey for more searches. What are we gonna search now? Fucking lizard draw? To draw into more shit cards?
we still have Whip Snake.
So are all of you pretty much in agreement that this deck is?
The
just-
deck sucks. It honestly is really bad.
I'm testing Magis Vector Performing Pile just now.
Like, I think there will be some builds that are like still somewhat viable, but
I'll post this in the Skype chat.
Yeah, like Insight or Wisdom Eye, whatever you call it. Like you could probably play an engine with that, but it's not. It's by far not the best deck.
We're saying it's not going to be the best deck and stuff, but it's probably still going to be on like the same power level as like Cosmo and stuff. Like honestly, it's just going to be a lot less consistent, which is obviously
It's still going
an issue.
I don't agree with that because like now that Luster's at 1, they have a big problem.
Yeah, they have no outs now.
Well, no, because you went from 6 lusters, including the face-off, to 4 lusters. Like I know it hurts, but it's not the end of the world, and you still have wavering eyes. Like it's not like that was your only out either.
Search
I
it.
think
Play 3 face off with 1 luster, since the other 2 are pretty underwhelming when you can't go like Ignister, Dinoster and stuff.
It's still 2 free cards though. Face-off is still an amazing card. It just digs you 2 cards into an engine.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, like, I think with Monarchs and Cosmo being a thing, both having cards that a deck that the current Pendulum decks will now struggle to get over, being Dominion and Dart Destroyer.
Yeah, well you'll see Monarchs won't play Dominion anymore because their main like matchups will be the Mirror, Cosmo and Mermail, like none of which use the extra deck really.
Yeah, like
Imagine Pepe trying to out Dominion now. You can't tribute a monkey board. Like, the fuck?
They don't have a fucking monkey board to tribute anyway.
Crash Plus.
We have one.
No, actually though, Dominion it's bad against Mermail, it's average in the Mirror, it's bad against Cosmo, it's bad against Magician because Dragon Pit exists. Like, it's not a good card anymore.
Your shit, Pepe best deck. No one's gonna flood it now.
It's a good meta call.
It was interesting they made a Performapal Sorcerer errata, like as if that was like a sorry or
A
something.
consolation prize. Here guys, we just fucked you, but like here's a McDonald's like.
I think the honest answer there is just the fact that it was a mistake to not print it like that to begin with.
Yeah.
They just figured, well, we may as well wait until now to correct it.
I mean, they kind of did the same problem with Lose a Turn.
That Lose One Turns Errata didn't actually change what it did, it just cleared up what it did.
Yeah.
That's how it always worked, other than like the first YCS it was out, in which they ruled that like Buff of Eclipse didn't stop it when it should have done.
So let's talk about some other decks. So Monarchs have been legal for a week, and they didn't do too much. I mean, they definitely got some tops, but I wouldn't say, I mean, they were definitely nowhere near dominating. Are we going to see Monarchs as a potentially best deck?
I mean, they'll probably be the most represented because it's so cheap.
I mean, that was a given anyway. But
Like, yeah,
in terms of how good it is, like,
I don't know. I think Mermail is better, and probably Cosmo.
Cosmo against Monarch? Are you serious?
Yeah, that's the big thing. Cosmo's really good, but it's really bad against Monarch, so how good
Yeah.
Cosmo is depends on how big Monarchs are. So that's a question that I think is going to be answered as time goes by.
Are you
I
guys
don't know.
surprised we didn't
I'd
see?
say Mermail, since you can't really make a dweller against it that easily in any other deck, and it just like it's more powerful. Like it can do more than any other deck.
So are you guys
Mate,
surprised we
have
didn't
you
see
seen my
like,
Cosmo build?
Here, honestly, like Mermail is like it does more stuff than good Pepe can do when it gets going.
Yeah,
Sure.
I know. Is the Monarch mirror match like actually playable for a large scale tournament though? Like
It's
what
it's
I've
skillful,
seen is awful.
unless you like Fog King, like
Fucking
just
not good though.
flood.
It seems really awkward by just watching
Yeah.
it.
I
Monarch
really
mirror match is generally quite skillful. Like the,
See, when
the
you can
better
both
players
play?
should win. But
Yeah.
the issue I found is like when shitty things like Fog King March happen. You know, it's like,
No,
well, okay, now I have to side like Book of Eclipse or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh great, those
Yeah.
those Astral Pack supers are finally useful.
You're supposed to side out March in the mirror though.
But the thing is, March Fog King is actually nuts.
March Fog King's good, but March is terrible.
Yeah, but that you don't play it for fucking Erebus. You play it for Fog King.
No, you side it out.
No, you play it for
Yeah, but-
Fog King.
Yeah, but if
Duncan.
they're putting in Fog King, they're obviously like consolidating that game plan. Like they're not just gonna take it out because they're supposed to take it out.
Yeah, Duncan, tell me, like, what is the Monarch out for Fog King March?
DD Warrior Lady.
Okay.
Okay, Duncan.
I played that when Roto was at 3, but it was okay then.
I remember the days when we just used Debris Dragon to bring back Fog King and make a Star Eater. What time?
When Star Eater was unoutable.
Yeah. Gotta make big eye, like.
God. So, okay, Monarch's probably going to be most represented deck without a doubt. Monarchs have a very, very good Cosmo matchup, so that kind of takes care of them. Against Mermails, you know, I guess if the meta shifts towards that, like, I mean, they have a searchable, like, Majesty's Fiend to deal with that. They can't really be OTK'd because of Prime. Do you guys not think Monarchs probably have a very, very good Mermail matchup?
It's probably not really good. It's just manageable, and obviously if you're building for it, then it's just gonna be fine.
I think.
I mean, right now it's in Mermail favor because like none of their cards did anything. But I guess going into a new format, if they're playing Majesty's Fiend now, which you would, because it's really good against Cosmo and Mermail, it'll be a bit harder. But then obviously in Mermail, you now just main stuff like Book of Eclipse and Raigeki and stuff, which outs all your problems.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how that changes, to be honest. Personally, I'm of the opinion that it's definitely in Monarch's favour. I feel like Monarchs are going to be the best deck, and I'm happy with that because the mirror match isn't that anal.
I mean, it's similar to Necros. Like when you both play, it's a good mirror match, but like it just ends up someone with like Fog King or
Restrict.
someone with like Mask of Restrict, you know, like stuff like that. Just degenerate stuff because you want cheap wins.
So, did you guys notice that they had Ptolemaeus as well, right? We've completely like skimmed over that, but Ptolemaeus is gone as well.
No, that's completely fair. Like, I've been saying that since, like, I realised you can put diamond on top of it. I was like, ha, that's a bit silly. And then I saw it and, like, drawn what word Durandal, and I was just like, this card allows way too much stupid shit.
So, not only did they have to hit all the Perform Mages, they hit the Crobat and Keyboard to 1. They've also hit the deck's best play, which was, you know, making Infinity backed up with other stuff. So,
Like, I think the deck would have been fine if they hit Monkey and one of the clowns, and then like probably Ptolemaeus as well. Like one Monkey or no or ban Monkey, and then like ban one of the clowns. Like the deck would have been okay.
Yeah, like, Luster's less good without a plush fire.
Exactly.
They didn't
And
use-
it's less good without like full scales. A 6 of that like just fills your scales.
yeah.
I was gonna ask something there, but it left my mind. Does anyone else have
Because-
like some random thoughts?
Luster
Okay, yes, I do.
isn't that
They do-
good
On
by
your Jack?
itself. Sorry.
I'm like, even though Pendulum's, like, pretty irrelevant now, I'm really mad they didn't ban Wavering Eyes. that I think that was like a higher priority than anything on that list, just because of how degenerate it makes pendulum mirror matches, and like because pendulums are still going to be a thing as new sets come out. Still probably going to be a thing now in some areas.
It'll be a thing again.
Yeah, so I really wish they'd have done that.
Okay, I'm gonna say something controversial here and say that I feel like with both players having 3 Wavering Eyes and 3 Jugglers, I feel like the card was pretty skillful to use in like most situations, because statistically both players should have like equal access to it. But I mean, obviously there are times where you can't do anything because they double Wavering you, like but I feel like we've had worse cards in the meta.
That is like a somewhat fair point, because like obviously, yeah, when both players had like Waverings or Jugglers, there was skill in playing it at the right time. But I'd say an equal amount of the time it was just, hey, look, you've got Scales and I've got a Wavering Eyes. Cool. This game's over now. Like, so I think the small amount of times that it was like skillful to play got outweighed by the fact the amount of times it was just sacky as hell.
Yeah, I agree with Wavering just outright winning games sometimes, but you could easily say the same about like a Maxi or a Veiler. Like, there's going to be some hands where it just completely wins in the game, and it's absolutely ridiculous. Like, obviously they're on different power levels, and it's not as obvious that they win you the game. Like, them Maxing and drawing that extra card that just wins in the game, and you having to stop your play, like, easily could just completely outright win it. But it's not as obvious because they're destroying 2 things with 1 card, and they're searching other cards. So it's really, you can feel that loss directly attributed to that Wavering Eyes. Well, you don't always feel like that to a Maxi. So I think it's quite like, it's like fake. Like, you feel like you've lost that Wavering, like you probably did, but you lose to a lot of cards in this game.
I think that because of the power creep and where the game has come now, like, because of how powerful decks are, they're also like glass cannons at the same time, where one thing goes wrong and suddenly you've just lost the game. And I mean, that's just the game in general now, and I feel like I like what this ban list did, because it essentially, it completely destroyed pendulums, and that's kind of good to an extent, because it is going to slow the game down a lot more. I mean, it feels like it was a long time ago when we used to say shit like mid game and late game. That just wasn't a thing anymore. But
turn 2 and turn 3.
Yeah, like that's literally how this game is decided now. It's like a turn 2 or 3 game, and
like the thing is, like, Cosmo and Mermail can still like OTK really quickly. So like the other decks are still like really good. Like, and I think without Pepe being a thing, people are going to realise that like, oh, we still have lots of really powerful decks. Not quite Pepe powerful, but there's still going to be like a lot of really like.
At least they have issues though, unlike Pepe.
Are you guys not surprised we didn't get like hits to other decks? Like, I know obviously, like, I mean,
Life Equalizer. No, legit, like,
Oh, it's so annoying.
what you can do with that Monarch FTK is like really consistent. And now you don't have Juggler.
You should have hit emergency teleport as well.
really?
I feel like that, yeah.
Yeah, the card is just stupid.
Yeah, like, it's a problem in Ritual Beast, it's a problem in Cosmo, there's those... I can't remember what they're called coming out soon, but apparently it's a problem in that as well.
There's just always a deck that gets abused by it, so...
Yeah. And it would take away, like, degenerate Cosmo OTKs.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty upset about this, but I'm surprised they didn't bring anything back. Is there anything you would have wanted to see come back,
Well,
Duncan?
they did say it was like an adjustment list. They just wanted to like tap a deck on the shoulder. I don't think it was really about like changing the game up like that.
We could still very much get a full Forbidden Unlimited list in, like, a month.
Yeah.
So...
Which might literally just bring stuff back and not actually hit anything else.
Yeah, like, they didn't bring back Demok even, though I'm pretty sure that's going to happen, like, soon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we've got the errata now, so...
I don't actually think this is not like a full list by any means, I don't believe.
No.
They probably didn't want to wait another month or 2 months or whenever they're thinking about bringing out the next list to do this. Because
Okay, when you say that, then it's like, what's the point? What are they adjusting this list for? What are they adjusting it for? There's a YCS like this weekend, and it's not tailored to that because this current list is still legal for it.
Just
What are they adjusting it
YCS is
for?
after that.
Which YCS? Like,
No, the ones that they're planning. I'm assuming they have some kind of planning. You don't really know with Konami, but assuming they have something in the works in the future.
So why not just like make
Right.
a list? Like, why does it have to be called an adjustment list? Like, why do we need two different terminologies? Like,
Well,
just
they
make
might
a
be
list.
like postponing that even longer than a month. Like, they did say they didn't want a knee-jerk reaction again, but obviously the knee-jerks was with a different aspect.
I don't think we're going to see like the full effects of the differences between adjustment and Forbidden Unlimited until we get the next Forbidden Unlimited list.
Yeah.
So it leaves a lot of questions open, certainly. But
So Liam, do you have anything to add?
Not really. I don't know. That was a bit of a shock. Like, they probably could have waited till after Atlanta. Like, Prague isn't for 4 weeks. What would like the difference of 5 days make? Like, I know Pepe would have taken 25 or whatever, 25 of the spots this weekend anyway, but I don't know. They should have hit. They shouldn't have just hit Pepe. Like, if they wanted to bring down the power levels of all the decks, then just like, hit them all, or at least hit that fucking trap card. Like that FTK deck is going to be so prevalent. I guarantee at Prague, there's going to be so many people playing it.
I'm considering
that's
taking it.
like
I think then the decks still just lose to like losing the die roll really. Like going first, just
They lost the die roll because they make Infinity, and they can't.
Yeah, now a lot of people will go second, right?
it depends how it shapes up. But yeah,
Like Cosmo will want to go second, I'm sure. Like Merman
Yeah.
will want to go second, so like. And then Monarch might even blind second to make those decks go first. Like,
yeah.
Stormforth is just nuts going second.
yeah, exactly. Like, because you're now not scared of Infinity Rafflesia Dweller, so you will blind second and you take Monarch FTK and just like auto win all your way.
I really hope that does not happen.
I guarantee there will be a bunch of people playing it at Prague.
Probably. Like,
Well,
the deck
probably
is really
all of us.
consistent.
I'm
I don't
already
think it's that
about it,
big
to be
though,
honest.
really.
Alright, well, I guess any final words, Duncan?
No. Like, this list is horrible. Well, it's nice, but it's horrible as well.
I thought you would have quite liked it, to be honest with you.
It's too much.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the overall theme and feeling right now is the fact that it is just too much.
Probably wouldn't have minded so much if they'd have brought Infinity Archfiend back to 3.
Yeah, I don't think
Oh,
they would have
Apple
cared
chain.
at all.
I'd have been happy with one Lavalval chain.
Here, do you think they envisaged like see when they brought out the product or when they sold Bosch? Did you think they knew that in a month's time they were going to ban everything?
Yes.
Like, so, like, why did they do that? I honestly don't understand why they would do this.
Because they knew everyone was going to buy Bosch because people wouldn't expect this.
Like,
I
what
think
masterminds?
Konami know.
Like, I don't know.
Like, they do plan things like way in advance, generally.
Like,
So-
obviously they looked at OCG and when they released it and they knew how good the deck was, and they still released it, or they didn't make like Monkey Board OCG exclusive or something like to tone down the deck.
I mean, TCG Konami, like, do whatever OCG or, like, tell them to do, really.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, you should have just looked at the deck and go, this is far too powerful. Let's not make this deck so everyone buys it and we need to ban it next week. Let's like straight away ban Monkey Board or straight away ban Joker or something.
Well, I think that's pretty much going to do it. So I hope all of you guys have enjoyed listening. Thanks to everyone for joining me in discussing this list, I guess we could call it. And yeah, comment, like, subscribe as usual, and I'll see you guys later.